The Middle East is once again on edge. The long-standing conflict between Israel and Hamas has flared up, leading to another cycle of violence and suffering. Airstrikes pound Gaza. Rockets rain down on Israeli cities. Civilians on both sides live in fear. But amidst the chaos, there's a glimmer of hope. Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar has called for a ceasefire. Could this be a turning point in the conflict, or is it just another false dawn? The world watches and waits for answers. The stakes are high, lives hang in the balance. Peace seems like a distant dream. The conflict between Israel and Hamas is rooted in a complex web of history, religion, and politics. It's a conflict that has raged for decades, claiming countless lives and leaving a legacy of pain and mistrust. Hamas, considered a terrorist organization by Israel and many Western countries, controls the Gaza Strip. Israel maintains a blockade of Gaza, citing security concerns. This blockade has crippled Gaza's economy and deepened the humanitarian crisis there. Periodic outbreaks of violence are a tragic hallmark of this conflict. Each side blames the other for the bloodshed, and each cycle of violence pushes peace further out of reach. Yahya Sinwar is not a man known for compromise. The leader of Hamas in Gaza, he is a hardened militant with a history of fierce opposition to Israel. So when Sinwar calls for a ceasefire, it's a development that demands attention. Sinwar's offer, conveyed through Egyptian and Qatari mediators, has injected a note of cautious optimism into the situation. Could this be the breakthrough that leads to a cessation of hostilities? Some analysts see Sinwar's move as a sign that Hamas is feeling the pressure from the latest round of fighting. Others believe it could be a tactical maneuver designed to buy time and regroup. Only time will tell what Sinwar's true intentions are. Section 4. Deciphering Sinwar's proposal. What does Hamas really want? The details of Sinwar's ceasefire proposal remain murky. It's unclear what conditions, if any, Hamas is attaching to its offer. Is this a genuine attempt to end the violence, or is it a ploy to extract concessions from Israel? Some experts believe that Hamas is seeking an end to the Israeli blockade on Gaza as part of any ceasefire agreement. Others speculate that the group may be trying to bolster its standing in the region by portraying itself as a force for peace. Understanding Hamas's motivations is crucial if there is to be any hope of reaching a lasting ceasefire. The international community must engage in careful diplomacy to determine the group's true objectives and find a path to de-escalation. Section 5. Netanyahu's Dilemma: Navigating Internal and External Pressures. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu faces a difficult decision. The pressure to silence Hamas militarily is immense, but so too is the international pressure for a ceasefire. Netanyahu must weigh the potential benefits of a ceasefire against the risks of appearing weak. He also faces pressure from within his own coalition government, with some hardline members advocating for a continuation of military action. Adding to the complexity is the domestic political situation in Israel. Netanyahu is currently on trial for corruption charges. Some observers believe he may be using the conflict with Hamas to shore up his political base. The weight of these competing pressures rests heavily on Netanyahu's shoulders. His next move could determine whether the region sinks deeper into violence or takes a tentative step towards peace. Section 6. The international stage mediators work tirelessly for peace. As rockets fly and bombs fall, a frantic diplomatic effort is underway behind the scenes. International mediators are working tirelessly to broker a ceasefire, shuttling between Jerusalem, Gaza, and other regional capitals. Egypt, a key player in the region, is playing a central role in the mediation efforts. Qatar, with its ties to Hamas, is also involved. The United States, under the Biden administration, has stepped up its diplomatic engagement, urging both sides to de-escalate. The mediators face an uphill battle. Mistrust runs deep between Israel and Hamas. Previous ceasefire agreements have crumbled, but the international community remains committed to finding a peaceful solution, knowing that the alternative is unthinkable. Section 7. The road ahead: Uncertainty and the importance of dialogue. As the situation in Gaza hangs in the balance, the world holds its breath. Will Sinwar's ceasefire offer lead to a lasting peace? Or will the cycle of violence and retribution continue unabated? The road ahead is shrouded in uncertainty. The path to peace is long and arduous, but the importance of dialogue and diplomacy cannot be overstated. The international community must remain engaged, working tirelessly to bridge the divides and find common ground. Only through dialogue, however difficult, can there be any hope of breaking the cycle of violence and building a more peaceful future for all.